Good morning, children. Sai Ram. Welcome back to our science class. And today, yes, we'll be continuing lesson number 12, the Earth and the Solar System, part 7. So, what we learned in part 6? We learned about the internal structure of the Earth. So, let us give a quick revision of that internal structure of the Earth, and then we will learn, that is, how does the Earth moves. Okay, so the structure of the Earth was divided. It is divided into three major components. So can you tell them what are they? Yes, the crust, mantle, and the core. So I told you to practice drawing the structure of the Earth and name its parts. So you have to name crust, mantle, and the core. And each layer has the unique composition and the physical state which have impacts on Earth's surface, because the outermost is the crust, which have life for the people to exist on the surface of the Earth, and the inner core, the innermost core, is very hot, and the mantle, which is in molten state, and the movement of the mantle cause variation in heat, and which cause earthquakes and the volcanic eruptions. So these natural hazards then change our landscape, and in some case it threatens the lives and property, right? Okay, so what is core? Core is very hot and it is very dense. It is the center of the planet, and the ball-shaped core lies beneath the cool, brittle crust and mostly the solid mantle. And the Earth's core is like a furnace. Furnace means it is too hot, right? And what is crust? Crust is the outermost layer of the Earth which supports life. It has landforms such as hills, mountains, plateaus, valleys, and the liquid water also exists on the crust. So it is in the form of rivers, lakes, oceans, and seas. And the crust is made up of different kinds of rocks and minerals, and it is the thinnest layer. And what we learnt about the mantle. So the core is surrounded by a lesser hot layer which is called the mantle, and it forms the middle layer of the Earth. And the mantle, it consists some components like molten rocks, minerals, and the metals. And what is magma? It is a mixture of molten and the semi-molten rock found beneath the surface of the Earth. So on the rare occasion, magma breaks the surface of the Earth as a volcanic eruption. It is called the lava. So magma that has cooled into a solid, into a igneous rock. As I said, when the magma is cooled down, it forms the ashes, it forms the igneous rock, which is fertile for the land, and the farmers likes to use that fertile land because it is helpful to grow the crops. And where does the mantle lie? It is the mostly solid bulk of interior's mantle. So it lies between the Earth's dense and it is superheated core, and its outer layer, the crust. So the core is the center of the Earth. It is a huge ball made up of heavy metals, and the core has two layers, which is the inner core and the outer core. The inner core is solid and the outer core is in molten state. Okay, right. So let us continue today's part. That is, today we are going to learn how the Earth moves. How the earth moves. So the earth moves in two ways. It spins also, it moves around the sun also. So how does it spin? Yes. So can you see the picture here? So this is the sun and this is the earth, and the smaller ball is the moon, which is rotating the earth, the natural moon which the earth has got. So the earth moves in two ways. It spins and moves around the sun. It spins also and it moves around the sun. So the spinning of earth is called the rotation. It spins also and it moves also. So the spinning of earth is called the rotation. So the earth is always moving. It doesn't stop in one place. It keeps on moving. Did you see how it keeps on moving? And at the same time, it travels around the sun also. It keeps on moving and it travels around the sun. So this is the sun. This is the earth. It keeps always moving around the sun. Okay. So have you seen the top, the toy top, how it is spinning? So the spinning movement of the earth is called the rotation. The spinning movement, this is how the earth spins, like a top. So the spinning movement, so it is called spinning. The top spins, right? This is the toy top, it is spinning, and the earth is also spinning in the same way. So the spinning movement of the earth is called the rotation. So observe a rotation of the top, it is looking the same way. So it appears to spin around a line. So when you observe the top, it is spinning around a line. So earth also has got a line. It appears to spin around a line which passes through the center, which passes through its center. And the earth also spins in a similar way like a top. So the earth spins in a similar way around an imaginary line, passes through its center. And this imaginary line, can you see this imaginary line? So this imaginary line passes through the North Pole. So this is the North Pole and this is the South Pole. So this imaginary line passes through the North Pole and the South Pole of the earth. It is called the axis of rotation. It is called the axis of rotation. So what is rotation? The spinning movement of the earth is called the rotation. And what is called the axis of rotation? So the imaginary line which passes through the North Pole, the imaginary line which passes through the North Pole and the South Pole of the earth, which is called the axis of rotation. So it takes a little over 365 days or 1 year. 365 days or 1 year to make one full revolution around the sun. So to complete one revolution, it takes 365 days. So the earth moves around the sun in a fixed path, called an orbit. So this line is called the orbit. Earth does not move here or there or closer to the sun or far away from the sun. So the earth moves around the sun in a fixed path. So here you can see the picture. The earth is moving around the sun in a fixed path. So this line is called the orbit. This line is called the orbit. So the movement of the earth is called the revolution. So this movement of the earth is called the revolution. And the earth revolves around the sun once in the earth. So the revolves around the sun once in 365 days or 1 year. So to complete one revolution of the earth, it takes 1 full year. So how many days do we have in 1 year? We have 365 days. And here when the earth is rotating, when the earth is rotating, it also causes the day and night. The rotation of the earth causes day and night. So as I showed you in this picture, the earth is rotating. So when this earth is rotating, so the earth rotates like this. So when it is rotating, when it faces the sun, the part which is facing the sun have daytime and the other part is nighttime. So you can observe this earth is rotating. The half part is shaded and the other half part, when it is rotating, it comes to the shaded portion and again it comes to the light portion. So when it is rotating like this, so if the sun is here, when the earth faces the sun, it is the daytime and the other part is the nighttime. So this is how the earth rotates and it keeps on changing. So the rotation of the earth causes day and night. The earth completes one rotation in 24 hours. The earth completes one rotation. The earth completes one rotation in 24 hours. So in one rotation we have day also and night also. So it causes, the rotation causes day and night. Understood? So the earth completes one rotation. To complete one rotation, it takes 24 hours. One rotation, it takes 24 hours. And to complete one revolution around the sun, it takes 365 days. That is 1 year. Okay. So here you can see, here the earth is also rotating. So to complete one rotation, it takes 24 hours. And to complete one revolution, it takes 365 days. Okay. So let's do a small activity now. The rotation of the earth gives the, so while the earth is rotating, so what does it give? So does it give the winter season, autumn season, day and night, or summer season? Yes, it causes day and night. So when the earth is rotating, it causes day and night. And our second question, the rotation in which earth rotates is from. So the earth rotates always from west to east. West to east. Or east to west, north to south, or north south to north. So the earth always rotates from west to east. So here you can see, so from west it is rotating like this. Okay, so this is the west and this is the east. So the earth always rotates from west to east. The earth always rotates from west to east. So the answer is west to east. The time in which earth completes its one revolution. So one rotation means 24 hours and one revolution means it is 365 days. So do not get confused, children. One rotation means 24 hours and one revolution around the sun means it takes 365 days or 1 year. So the answer is 365 days, or the option must have given 1 year also. Okay. And the next one is the side of the earth which faces the sun. The side of the earth which faces the sun. What does it have? Summer season, day, night, or winter season? Yes, now we know it is daytime. The part which faces the earth part which faces the sun has daytime, and the other part has night. The time in which earth completes one revolution around the sun. So here the question is repeated the same. We know it is 365 days. This question, okay. The other two questions we'll be learning in the next part. Okay, children. So take out your textbook and learn how the earth moves, and the earth rotates on its axis, and the earth revolves around the sun. So today we learned how the earth moves, what is called rotation, what is called the revolution, and how much time it takes and what does it causes. So the earth completes one rotation in 24 hours and one revolution in 1 year. And the earth rotates. The spinning of the movement of the earth looks like a top which is spinning. Okay, a toy top which is spinning. The same way earth also spins, and it always spins in the west to east direction. And in the next part, our last part, we'll be learning about the revolution of the earth which causes season. So today we learned day and night, and in the next part we'll be learning which causes season. So this revolution, when the earth revolves around the sun, it causes the season. So we will learn in details in the next part. So until then, thank you. Bye bye, children.